I'll share something else with you guys. This Ramadan, I came across a an orator, a preacher, a Maulana, yeah. And check this. I don't know if you guys heard of it. This is in Urdu speaking. I don't really listen to many Urdu speeches. Okay, not that this is just me. I'm not saying they're bad or there's anything. I have, of course, Mullah Allama Ghamidi Saab's. I've always heard many of his in the past, and I may have heard some from some scholars here and there, but I don't really have that. I don't know. I just don't find it. I don't know. I don't want to say. I find sometimes some parts of the world are just so embroiled in sectarianism and in they don't. I just don't find it doesn't myself or my soul harmonizing with it. And maybe that's my fault, yeah. But I just don't find it like that. And I've heard, as you can imagine, so many in the past. But I came across a Maulana, Dr.Suleman Misbahi Saab. May Allah bless him, honestly. I came across him just perchance. I wasn't looking for him or anything. There was actually a poem. He had a poem, and that's what came up. And I thought, oh, this is an interesting poem. It's an epic poem, actually. He says, he's speaking about somebody saying that to God, that hamari bewafai par itna, something like hamari bewafai par itna pyar mila, hum bawafa hote to kya hote, something like this. That that somebody saying to God that we're so ungrateful and unfaithful to you, and despite that you love us so much. What would it be like if we were to be faithful? And he says, and then the person gets this reply that dil to kya cheez hai, hum ruhon mein utre hote, तूने चाहा ही नहीं चाहने वालों की तरह. Allah. So I saw this. It was on it was just like a short, like a 30-second clip or something. And I thought, wow, kya baat hai. I thought, let me find it. So I found it. And then there's a speech with it. I didn't realize it's Maulana Dr.Suleman Misbahi Saab. So this was in Ramadan. It was probably like halfway through, just gone beyond halfway of Ramadan. And so now that I watched it, YouTube started bringing up, the algorithm. It started bringing up some talks of his for me. And so it accidentally played the talk. And I just heard it, like it was just playing, and I started listening to it. Man, I was so struck by this Maulana's speech. Honestly, I don't think I've been that struck by they were just and then I, as a, because I was like, just wow, like I became so, like I was so moved by him. And then like another speech came on, and so one of the days after that I was driving, and you know how YouTube just plays the next thing and the next thing, and so it played a speech of his, short, like something like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 8 minutes, something like this, and I'm just driving, and it played this thing, and I thought, oh well, okay, it's just playing, and so let it play. And so honestly, I was so let me share an incident that he was saying in this, and I'll give you an example how it really moved me, man. It brought tears to my eyes. I'm not gonna lie that so here's the incident that the Maulana was saying. This was one. So he's speaking about some incident from Pakistan, some karamat. So Dr. Misbahi Saab is he's from the main Brailvi Sufi denomination. And so a lot of his speeches are generally like, they may have some folk kind of tradition narratives in them. So they'll speak about saints and they'll speak about stuff. But it's not all of his speeches, the ones that I've heard anyway, they all seem to be just focused on the message of humanity, love, gratitude, just like sincerity, and it's just it's not that they come across, they are so strikingly sincere. So coming to this story anyway that I heard, he's speaking about some wali of God, some very saintly figure who's in Pakistan, contemporary, I believe, or maybe just of the recent past. So he's on a bus. Now this bus is going, and the person says to the driver that, "Stop the bus, I need to pray Salah." So the driver ignores him, and he says it a couple of times. And then he gets upset and he yells it. He says, "Stop the bus, bus roko," dramatically. So the driver says, "Look, I'll tell you what, we'll put it to a vote. So if the majority of the passengers say, let's stop for Salah, we'll stop for Salah." So they put it to the vote, and only 3-4 people say, yeah, we want to pray. So the majority don't. Now, this saintly figure, whoever he is, or this pious person, he gets into a state of jalal. He's like, he gets into a rage, and then he says, this vehicle will stop. And as he says it, the bus stops. So I'm thinking, okay, so this is like a normal karamat story, the like a miracle kind of story. So this person gets off, he does his wudu, the driver can't seem to fix the bus, they're looking at it, they can't seem to get it to start. This person praises or does his wudu, bitme'nan, with tranquility. Then he praises Salah with tranquility. Then he boards the bus, and as he boards the bus, it starts again. So I thought, listening to this, I was driving, I thought, okay, so this is the usual kind of folk tradition kind of stories that we've heard loads in Pakistan and in different parts of the world. So he says, now the bus arrives at its destination, wherever, Rawalpindi, or I can't remember where he said now. And he says, and so this pious person is going to see his Pir Sahib, his Shaykh. So he turns up, and his Shaykh is in the courtyard of the mosque. And as he comes in, he says the Shaykh gives him a slap across his face. And so now I'm listening to the story, and he says, and the Shaykh said to him, "Is this why God granted you this gift, that you may inconvenience his creation?" And he says that, like he says in Urdu, he says, "Namaz to baad mein bhi padh sakte the." You could have, Salah is something you could have prayed afterwards. Or it was something, if you really wanted to, you could have prayed on the bus. This, I totally was not expecting this spin. He said that on the bus, there were people who were ill. There were people going to see loved ones. There was people that were late to get somewhere. There were people that needed to attend a funeral. There were people that, how dare you inconvenience these people at the price and the cost of your piety? Now, wow, I just was not expecting this twist to this story. I mean, honestly, really, because the thing was that, you see, the real message has always been serving humanity. That's what it's always been, and having compassion for humanity. So I was really struck by, and I have to say I'm really grateful, because I think I would probably, especially during Ramadan, I would listen to, probably at least one or two, uh, brief clips of Maulana Saab every day or every other day, and they've really added a very different flavor to that part of Ramadan. But I started to psychologize it, like that's the psychologist in me. I was thinking that, why am I so struck by this, Maulana? Like, I don't get it. Like, what's so? Because in between, some other YouTube would bring up another Maulana speech, and I would listen to it, and nah, I would just switch it off. So I started to analyze, and I couldn't help but analyze and think, well, what makes it so special? And I think I narrowed out certain factors. That, one, it was, there seems to be one, his tone is very soothing, but so that's definitely a huge positive point. More importantly, his message was not fire and brimstones. It was not, the scary not what I heard anyway. They weren't. It was all about love of God and gratitude, and it made you just want to be a better person. And then there's, the icing that I analyzed, honestly, was he would often, the majority of the time in his talk, he would smile. And I thought that, that's so rare. Now, it's so common sense, but it's so rare finding people who smile so much, especially within the Islamic, you know, uh, stratosphere, should we say. So, yeah. So anyway, I thought I got carried away, so I thought I ended up sharing that with you guys. But yeah, those of you that understand Urdu are more than welcome to definitely check him out.